Amber Wilde is missing, and now there may be a motive. The key clue comes in Amber's own words, written in her secret diary. "I'm pregnant."
Marilyn Monroe's image remains one of the most iconic and enduring symbols of beauty and glamour.
I was the first one that she told that she was pregnant.
So you were Amber's confidant?
I think so, yeah.
With her platinum blonde hair, sultry gaze, and radiant smile, she became the embodiment of the Hollywood dream.
Amber confides in her Aunt Rory Ennard, then tells the rest of her family it's an accidental pregnancy, but she plans to keep the baby.
Yet, what makes Monroe stand out among her contemporaries, such as Elizabeth Taylor and Jane Russell, is that her image never aged. She remains frozen in time, captured at the peak of her beauty and charm, without the passing years affecting her public persona. Her carefully curated image was a concoction of innocence and seduction, which led to her being seen as the perfect woman by millions around the world. This allure was so strong that even years after her death, Monroe continues to captivate audiences, proving the lasting power of her image. Yet, behind the polished facade of stardom, there was a deeper, more complex individual. Monroe's public life was constantly in the spotlight, yet few truly understood the turmoil that lay beneath her glamorous surface. Monroe was more than just a sex symbol. She was a thoughtful and introspective woman, constantly at odds with the image that the world projected onto her. Tragic legacy. Marilyn Monroe's tragic legacy has become deeply intertwined with her image as a glamorous yet fragile star. She is often remembered not just for her iconic beauty and timeless appeal, but also for the dark circumstances surrounding her life and death. Monroe's story is one of rise and fall. An individual who reached unimaginable heights in her career, only to be pulled down by personal demons and the weight of fame. Born Norma Jean Mortensen, Monroe's childhood was marked by instability, spending much of her early years in foster homes and orphanages. Despite this, she emerged as one of the most sought-after actresses in Hollywood. Yet, her success came at a high price. She was constantly exploited by the men she sought affection from, including powerful figures in the entertainment industry. Her romantic entanglements with the likes of the Kennedys and Joe DiMaggio became fodder for gossip and speculation. Her tragic death under mysterious circumstances only added to the myth surrounding her life. Monroe's passing, which many believe was a result of overdose or foul play, has left fans and biographers searching for answers. Despite her legendary status, Monroe's life serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of fame, addiction, and the relentless pressure of being an icon. Private writings. Marilyn Monroe's private writings offer a striking contrast to her public persona as a glamorous, carefree star. Behind the carefully constructed image of Hollywood's blonde bombshell lay a sensitive, introspective woman who found solace in writing. Her personal notebooks, poems, and letters revealed a more contemplative side, one filled with emotional depth and self-awareness. In these intimate notes, Monroe expressed her inner struggles, her fears, and her longing for understanding. They were not just simple jottings. They were the carefully crafted thoughts of someone seeking to make sense of her world. Monroe's writings provided a direct window into her soul, revealing her reflections on fame, relationships, and her ongoing battle with self-worth. Her personal diaries also showed her attempts to ground herself amidst the chaos of her life. Whether it was trying to manage the pressure of being a public figure or coping with the loneliness of her personal life, these writings offered insight into the complexities of her character that few ever saw. Monroe was not just an actress. She was a woman who wrestled with the same emotions, doubts, and desires as anyone else. Through her private writings, she gave voice to her inner struggles and allowed the world a glimpse into the mind of an icon. Emotional struggles. Marilyn Monroe's emotional struggles were at the heart of much of her personal turmoil. Despite being adored by millions, she often felt deeply isolated and misunderstood. Her vulnerability was not something that the public associated with her. She was known for her beauty, her charm, and her ability to light up the screen. But behind the scenes, Monroe was grappling with anxiety, depression, and a profound sense of insecurity. She expressed these feelings in her personal writings, often reflecting on her sense of inadequacy and fear of rejection. In one of her notes, she wrote about the overwhelming fear of being loved or cared for, fearing that her relationships would never bring her true fulfillment. This struggle was evident in her marriages, particularly her union with playwright Arthur Miller. Monroe was devastated by Miller's harsh critique of their marriage, which she found in his notes. Her vulnerability and emotional sensitivity made it difficult for her to cope with the pressures of fame and the demands of her personal relationships. These emotional battles were also compounded by her addiction issues, which only deepened her sense of despair. Monroe's struggles with mental health and substance abuse became a part of her tragic legacy, overshadowing her career achievements. Despite her fame, she remained a deeply troubled soul, longing for love, stability, and a sense of belonging, things that seemed to constantly elude her grasp. Creative outlet for Marilyn Monroe. Writing became a vital creative outlet that allowed her to express herself in ways that were far removed from her public persona. While she was best known for her acting, it was in her notebooks, poems, and letters where Monroe truly allowed her emotions to flow freely. These writings offered a private space where she could wrestle with her identity, her fears, and her aspirations without the pressure of Hollywood expectations. Monroe's creative writing was filled with introspection, capturing her thoughts on love, life, and the complexities of her personal journey. Her desire to be seen not just as a beautiful face, but as a thoughtful, sensitive individual is evident in these works. She was meticulous in her self-reflection, constantly working to understand her place in the world, and her writing allowed her to confront both her strengths and her vulnerabilities. In many ways, writing was Monroe's form of therapy, a way to process the emotional weight she carried. She would write down her hopes, her dreams, and her fears, pouring her soul into every word. Through this creative process, she found a sense of purpose and a means of survival in a world that often seemed to demand more from her than she could give. Monroe's creative outlet not only shaped her as an artist, but also gave her the space to find herself amidst the chaos of fame. Personal reflection. Marilyn Monroe's personal reflection was a constant theme throughout her life and work. She was a woman driven by the need to understand herself, her identity, her desires, and the contradictions between her public image and private struggles. In her writings, she often reflected on her past, her aspirations, and the emotional scars left by years of being exploited and misunderstood. These reflections allowed her to confront the complexities of her persona and the reality behind the camera. Monroe's personal notes were filled with moments of deep self-awareness. She questioned her worth, her relationships, and the true nature of the fame she had achieved. Despite being one of the most recognizable women in the world, Monroe often felt disconnected from the persona that the world adored. Her writings showed that she was not just a passive figure in her own life. She was actively seeking to shape her understanding of who she was and how she fit into the world around her. Through these reflections, Monroe's writings give us a glimpse into the mind of an icon who was constantly grappling with her own self-image. The loneliness she felt in her personal life was contrasted with the public's perception of her as a symbol of beauty and desire. These personal reflections, scattered throughout her notebooks and letters, show a woman who was striving for more than just fame, a woman trying to find peace within herself and make sense of the life she had been given. Marilyn Monroe's private diaries reveal the hidden depths of her soul, giving us a glimpse into her emotional struggles, creative outlet, and personal reflections. To truly understand the iconic star, we must look beyond the glittering facade of Hollywood. Did these writings reveal the real Marilyn Monroe? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more exclusive content. Don't miss our next video, The Deadly Couple Who Turned Love into a Crime Spree, coming soon!